Hello, hi, it's Henry the Computer Guy, and you welcome to our lesson number 12. We are actually going to be talking about the application area of ICT, for example, in health. How do we use computers in health or hospitals? So they're actually telling us that computers or hospitals use computers for managing and storing records electronically rather than paper files. For example, when you go to the hospital, they want to work upon you. Of course, they'll ask you your details. So those details are going to be entered into a computer. So whenever they need them, they can always refer to that information. So they are going to store the records of the hospital or the patients. Hospital administration is also aided by printing labels, allocating beds, making appointments, staff rotas, etc. So they want to print labels which are going to be put on the medicine. They will use computers to design them, then use printers and print them out. They will use computers to allocate the beds to the patients. They will use computers to make appointments with their patients and even to make rotas of those people, for example, those ones who are on duty, for example, for a week or some other days to come. We continue. Internet helps us get websites for information on health care, treatments, condition, etc. So over the internet, there are many websites which provide information about health. So they can help people to, let's say, know how they are supposed to maintain their diets, how they are supposed to, let's say, reduce or prevent some diseases. So all that one is also provided by computers. Monitoring or diagnosis such as heart beat rate, pressure, etc. is aided by computer expert systems. So you want to know the disease that you're actually having, they can use a computer to diagnose and find out actually the disease that you're suffering from. You want to go for testing, you want to see whether either negative or positive. How would you know that? So they will use a computer and know whether you're actually positive or negative, whether you're pregnant or not, and other diseases. Medical training is facilitated by simulation software and online data sources. For example, those nurses use computers to make research. They use computers to make practicals. They use simulation software. For example, they want to learn how to make a surgery. They can use the simulation software to aid them or help them out. That is actually I have for you for the health, but you can still add on your own. Let's look at the area of security or communication. How can we use computers in the area of communication? For example, at home, many of you use mobile phones to communicate to one another. So, point 1 tells us that we can use it to send emails or electronic mails. And they're telling us that electronic mails sent from one person to another using connected computers help a lot in the area of communication. You want to communicate to someone, you write them an email. And it can as well help you to add a photo or attach a photo and a video if you want. So emails help us so much in the area of communication. They help us to deliver our messages to those people we want to. Then video conferencing enables people in different locations to conduct meetings as if they are in the same location. What is the meaning of video conferencing? It is specifically the meeting of two or more people who are geographically separate that use a network, for example the internet, to deliver audio or video data. Someone is in UK, someone is in Germany, someone is in Uganda, someone is in Kenya. but you have a meeting to attend. Instead of moving from one country to another, spending money, we can use what we call a video conference. You can use, for example, applications like Zoom, GoToMeeting. You schedule a meeting between or among all those people that you want to communicate to. So it specifically reduces on the amount someone would have used and the time which can be used during the travel hours. You're traveling from Uganda to UK, the time would have taken. So what you do, you can hold a meeting online using applications like Zoom, GoToMeetings, and others. Computers are used for faxing. Send an image of a document electronically. You want to communicate an idea to someone, you scan it on one side, send it to the other person, it comes out as a printout. Those are called faxes. For you to be able to receive a fax, you need to have what we call a fax machine. If you're not having a fax machine, you buy what we call a fax modem to receive those messages onto a computer. And you can either decide to retain them or delete them. So it uses what we call the telephone line. Let's refer to it and see how a fax machine looks like. Sorry, it's loading. Have to be a little bit patient. So this is how a fax machine looks like. So it uses what we call a telephone line, and it is both an input and output device. That means that it has a printer and a scanner at the same time. You want to send a document to someone, you're going to scan it, then send it. When it reaches the other side, it comes out as a printout on the papers. And it will be the same case that that person will do. Send a document, then it will be coming as a printout out of your fax machine. Remember, I told you if you don't want to use a fax machine, you can buy what we call a fax modem, such that you can receive those messages on your computer. They will not be printed out. You can either decide to delete them or retain them. Computers enable people to send voice, image, text data through telephones and mobile cell phones. For example, many of you use WhatsApp, use Viber, use Instagram. You share photos, you share videos, you make calls over the internet. At times we call them the voice over internet protocol. Making calls over the internet. You don't have airtime, but you can call someone using internet. We call them the voice over internet protocol. So these social media apps or apps have helped us to actually deliver our messages in form of voice, video, and others, which reduces on the time and it makes our communication convenient. You exactly deliver what you wanted to deliver in the shortest time possible. Continue. Social media or social networks such as Facebook and Twitter enable people to stay in touch with their families, relatives, and those they have interest in. For example, you're having someone in USA, your son, your daughter, you can keep on communicating to them. You stay in touch. It keeps the information or the communication flowing. But the bad thing is that it reduces face-to-face interaction. The more people you communicate with them online, they will always not be in that mode of needing to see you. So it reduces some face-to-face interaction. But it can as well help us to keep the communication going. So it's been Henry the Computer Guy. I thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and share the link to other friends who actually need it. I sign out. Bye-bye.